So when you lose like a little bit of money, Singaporean make noise. Then what about the money that they make?
Profit,
Exactly.
yeah. They make 100 billion, no. Did they say anything?
Guys, you guys have heard of the recent FTX incident or not?
They crashed, right?
Yeah, the FTX crash. Okay, so for you guys that don't know, right, let me give you guys a brief summary. Okay, so basically, right, FTX itself, internally, they had some management issues lah. Okay, but the crash came about when Binance said that they're gonna drop their FTX holdings. When they posted on Twitter they're gonna drop their FTX holding, everybody started to panic and sell their own FTX holdings lah. And this caused FTX to crash to close to zero. So
Unregulated industry, a big whale drop you,
Everybody
will
watch out.
yeah. So recently, then FTX declared bankrupt lah. So how does this news relate to us Singaporeans, right? It's because Temasek Holdings, right, also invested in FTX. Okay, so they invested USD $275 million, yeah, into FTX lah. So when you hear this, right, what are your thoughts?
I mean, it's a bit risky lah because okay, I know Temasek Holdings. I've been in the investing circle for 9 years or so quite familiar with all these things. And I know that when it comes to looking at big funds, right, Temasek is one to push for. If you look at like the private funds overseas or like Berkshire Hathaway, Greenlight Capital and all this, right, these are the funds that people look at if they are taking a stake in a company. Maybe it's worth looking into. Why? Because they have their own analysts in the team. These analysts, they know what to look at. I mean, okay, for like Berkshire, most of it is going to be like value stocks lah. But some of the newer analysts, they look at other things. Momentum stocks, growth stocks, all this. Right? Because they want to diversify also. And they want to look into what has future potential. If you look at Temasek Holdings, right, whatever they are investing in, those are worth investing in.
Copy trading, maybe we should do that.
Yeah. Temasek Holdings, everyone, okay, big investors lah. Everyone will look at them and see what they are doing. Because their track record is actually very good. One of the better sovereign funds.
So I believe then if they were to invest in FTX, they would have done their proper
100%.
due diligence.
100%. But it's very risky to invest in FTX. The reason is because of this. If let's say you invest in a commodity, right, let's say like gold or whatsoever, silver, right, there are companies that depend on this commodity to make their money. Like for example, you can invest in gold or you can invest in this other company called Royal Gold. If you invest in Royal Gold, when gold takes a hit, Royal Gold also takes a hit. When gold is stable, Royal Gold can still take a hit because there's still the corporate element to it. So when you invest in FTX, right, if cryptocurrencies take a hit, FTX will take a hit. If cryptocurrencies are still stable, FTX can still take a hit. So there is a bit of risk involved.
So actually when this news come out, right, actually a lot of Singaporeans, they also make a lot of noise lah, like, hey, 275 million worth of money, and what happened to our money, you know? A lot
Whose money?
I don't know, taxpayer money lah.
275 million.
Isn't that the money they made off investment and
Yeah,
not
mostly.
Yeah, and I would say that, okay, to us 275 million can last us like many decades, right? Like
Maybe two
many
lifetimes.
many generations also.
Two lifetime lah.
But to them, right, it's just less than 1%.
Actually, it's 0.09%.
That I also read like a lot of news like, wow, Temasek have the best in finding investments. Yeah, you know, cause previously Ho Ching, she lost like in 2008, she lost like 30 billion worth of
More than that, I think.
she lost quite a bit. So,
Actually, in 2008, right, that was one of the steepest crash lah. As in like the graph, right, was the steepest drop. But actually, you look throughout from the graph of 1994 to current, right, there are a few slight drops. One of it is during the SARS period, and one of it is the recent pandemic. But the drop, right, is like very little compared to the crisis in 2008. But you know what's the best thing? The last decade, right, Temasek actually earned 200 billion. About 200 billion. So that was the last decade, you know. So during the pandemic, in fact, right, from 2020 all the way to now, they actually made about 100 billion just by these 2 years, you know. Look at the graph. They are very transparent for Temasek. Yeah.
No, that's what I want to say.
In the pandemic.
During the pandemic,
During
and
the
the
pandemic.
and I tell you, during the pandemic, right, the growth is the steepest throughout these 30 years.
But it's understandable because okay, they are quite exposed to the global market. And the US market is a decent size of their portfolio. So if you look at the US market, there was a drop just after COVID, right? But after that, the bull run has been insane.
During the whole COVID
It has been
period,
insane. No, I've been waiting for the crash for so long. Never came.
So when you lose like a little bit of money, Singaporean make noise. Then what about the money that they
The
make?
profit,
Exactly.
that's right. They made
Exactly.
100 billion, you know. Did they say anything?
What'd you say?
I feel like people should actually like read up a bit more and then have a bit more faith, because in the investment world, right, you for sure there will be dips, for sure there will be drops, but there's also like the good times, ma.
Okay, so that is one area where people can criticize. Why? Because if let's say now you are invested in certain equities, if there is a dip, these are unrealized loss. Okay, you are just holding on as the economy picks up, as the market goes higher. These will not be losses that you realize. It will become a gain eventually. But this write-off is a loss. You're realizing that 275 million loss. But the thing is this, we all say it's like 0.09%, right?
Yeah.
When you diversify your portfolio 0.09%, you put it into a super hyper growth kind of investment, right? Because this one is 275 million. If it makes it, it's going to be a B, no?
Yeah. So like, okay, there's a lot of people, because they are not very well versed in like the investment world, so they don't know a lot of things. But then they are just concerned. Some people express their concern, but some people.
What concern they have? Who's 275? I still want to know, no? Who's 275 million is this?
Okay, but right, I would understand, right, when they are just concerned about their money. Okay, their so-called their money lah, because the government money ma. So they are concerned about it. But I just cannot understand when people they just post stupid things like this. Let me show you guys, man. These are some of the things that they post. Okay, so this is regarding right our CPF. Okay, so one person say, there goes our CPF. Retirement age to the moon. No wonder CPF interest rate cannot increase.
Depending on the 275 million to retire. CPF money is not even here, what?
Yeah. Oh no, there goes more of our retirement CPF funds. I guess minimum sum will be raised again. Okay, so actually a lot of people they don't know lah. They thought like CPF like government, we put our money in CPF, then CPF government will use our CPF to invest ma. They thought that Temasek are able to use the money to invest. Yeah. So what money does Temasek use to invest, and who actually use our CPF to invest?
Okay, this is my understanding.
Yeah.
There are three, like, in a sense, bodies. Okay, one is MAS, one is Temasek Holdings, one is GIC. GIC is our main sovereign fund lah. So the three different bodies, they do different things. CPF, right, it will never lose money. Why? Because what really happens is the CPF money is managed by CPF board. CPF money, they change it into some kind of, I don't know what exactly it is lah, like bond or whatsoever. And this is protected by the government. It's guaranteed by the government. You cannot lose money. What happens is this repackaged thing, this goes to MAS and GIC. And then they will use that for investment. But the CPF money is 100% protected, 100% guaranteed. So whatever investments go wrong also, CPF money will not lose. The investments that Temasek does, right, is basically the assets that we used to have, all these corporations that Singapore started with, right, SIA, the zoo, all these kind of things lah. These assets coupled with some of the funds and everything, they invest all of this money into different areas. Mostly is in Singapore stuff, but they put it in like Asia and the US and all also lah. So this money has got nothing to do with the CPF money, like absolutely totally nothing. GIC, you can say okay, you dig deeper, got some roots there. Temasek, nothing at all. So whoever thinks their CPF money is going here and they cannot retire because of these, they're crazy.
I feel like all these people, they just talk only.
They just
They like to comment lah. I feel like this is the importance of like actually reading out like what you say to understand more about what goes where and where you come into play.
Yeah, so I feel that those people that are, let's say, concerned, I mean, like, you're generally concerned about your money, just know that your money is actually safe, it's actually capital protected, it's actually good. And those people that just want to hate on, like, the government, I think you should really read up more, because, okay, guys, I can tell you, I invested in crypto also, right? I invested $4,000. You know how much I left with my assets? I left $300. 1% loss is not that much, guys. And that 4,000 is my retirement funds.